Beautiful day here down in Santa Monica. So today I want to welcome you guys. I decided I'm 32 years old. It's going to be July 1st by the time you guys see this video. We're starting a daily vlog. I'm really just using this as an excuse to hold myself accountable and try to get to a daily upload point. It's not necessarily going to be a view into my everyday life. I will include components of that, but we're still going to keep it focused on tech as well as camera gear. So by doing this throughout the month of July, I've got a long list of videos I've wanted to do for a while now. This will hold me accountable. It will make sure I'm doing uploads. So today's video was recorded over a few days. From this point forward throughout July, we're going to have recording one day, upload the next day. So it'll be very sequential. What we're going to do today is a Deity W.Lav review. Thank you, Deity, for sending me the mic to review. So far, it's been a great impression. But with that, let's dive into the review and see how the mic sounds. I'm really excited to be testing out the W.Lav from Deity. Deity sent me this to try out. I'm a big fan of theirs. I actually have the V.Lav already. So we'll do some comparisons with that. I figured rather than just stand in a room, I can't sing, I don't play any instruments. We're gonna go out and about. We'll talk a little bit about my experience so far with the Canon EOS R, which I've had now for 2 days. So I'll kind of tell some stories. We'll switch mics around so you can get different examples. We'll try it in the studio, record on the Sony a7R III, also use the Zoom H4n Pro, and then right now we're going right into the Canon EOS R. That way we eliminate any variables like preamps. So the great thing about the W.Lav here is that it's a 5-foot cable, I wanna say. It's a very appropriate size length cable. The biggest downside with their V.Lav is that it's a ridiculously long cable. I think it's like 15 feet. So in these types of scenarios, you've got to basically wrap it up, throw it into your pocket. The reason I want to film here right now is actually you can see there's a lot of construction going on behind me. So can you guys hear that right now? Can you hear the wind noise too? I've only got, if you can see, it's not even the wind muff. It comes with a nice white wind muff, but I've only got the foam filter on here right now. And from what I can tell, it's doing a really good job at filtering it. I'm honestly thinking about using this from now on anytime I travel, anytime I want to vlog. It's way more discreet than the on-camera shotgun mics. And if the audio quality is good and you don't hear a lot of ambient noise, spot on, it's a win. I don't know if you guys have seen Matty Hapoya's videos. He just started a daily vlog too, and it's funny. He was one of those guys originally on I wasn't too sure about, and I actually really like him now. He's using the EOS R, he recommends it for vlogging, and I don't know how he does his footage so stable. He's using the 16-35 f2.8, no stabilization, he's shooting in 1080p. All his scenes look super crisp, the color's amazing. I'm just really impressed, so I wish I could meet him and figure out what he's doing, but that's really what gave me a lot of faith in this camera. So far, colors-wise, grading-wise, big fan of C-Log. Really is a performant camera. However, the stabilization is the biggest thing I'm trying to figure out. All right, so now we've got the V.Lav on here, not to be confused with the W.Lav we had earlier. This is around 50 bucks, so it's half as much, and you can see this cable in all its monstrosity. It's nice if you want to do it in a studio or somewhere where your camera's maybe fixed and your person you're filming is a little bit further away. In these types of vlogging scenarios, the cable is obviously pretty darn big. So I found this mic was really good when I used it. One thing to note about this mic that's different, and it's really nice, is this will switch from TRS to TRRS dynamically based on what you connect it to. So it's got a little battery, tiny adapter inside of it. You get, I think, 1 year or 2 years out of battery life. So it's not a thing you have to charge or change frequently. But what is really nice about that is if you plug it into a camera, it's gonna work. If you plug it into a cell phone, it's gonna work. You don't need any adapters. It's very plug and play with really good sound quality from what I've seen so far. Very nice package. Again, half the price. The biggest complaint I have about this is the cable, but it's something you can get over and live with if you need to. So how's the quality sound right now? It's a little bit windier. We don't have the foam muff on here that we did with the V.Lav, so that's something to account for. It's just an exposed mic you'll see here. So the only other thing to note is I did have to change the levels on it. I actually had to turn them up. So the V.Lav, for whatever reason, definitely is a lot quieter pickup versus the W.Lav. I turned it down actually pretty far on the Canon for it to be a normal level at that point. I gotta say, growing up in Pennsylvania, now living down here, it's just a dream. All right, so we just switched to the Rode Video Mic Go, and one thing I want to call out on this right now is I have it set up like the shotgun mic. So if you guys didn't see my other video, go ahead and check it out. I'll link it up top below right now. But we figured out a way you can use Velcro, you can use these little sticky gel pads that we have, and you can actually turn it into a shotgun mic, and then when you need to, I'm gonna take it off here, you can actually just grab it off, clip it to yourself, and you're ready to go. So I need to turn down the levels. Let's do that really quick. All right, so now we're on the Rode Wireless Go. It's not that windy today, so I didn't put the wind muffs on. Curious if you can pick up any wind noise, hopefully not. Another thing I want to mention is that right now we're on the Sigma 14 to 24 f2.8. We're trying this lens out. I actually think because it's a heavier lens, it's 2.5 pounds versus the, I think 1.5 of the 16 to 35 f4 Canon that we were using the other day. And actually earlier in this video, it seems like the stabilization, even though it's funny, the f4 has IS built in, this does not. This just seems to be a more stable image. All right, so we just switched to the Sennheiser ME2. Last mic we have in this comparison. Right now, again, we're doing the out and about comparison. We'll go back to the studio shortly, so we'll have a more controlled environment to film with. This has been my least favorite mic historically to use, just because, especially on Sony's, it peaks so much. You've got to put it under your shirt, you've got to put a foam muff on it, and I still find just at the levels I talk at, even with my Sony set to 1, it would still peak. So I'm really happy with Deity's mic so far, especially in contrast to this. The audio quality on this is good when you get the right levels. It's just, you don't want a lot of peaking because obviously it's not going to sound good. It can completely ruin your footage. All right, welcome back to the studio. So what we're gonna do right now, we're on the Sennheiser MKE600. We're gonna go through the H4n Pro right to the Sony a7R III, so we have a little bit different setup than how we had earlier, which was right into the EOS R. The H4n generally adds a little bit extra oomph to it, even though we're still going directly into the Sony one recording. The other thing to call out, for whatever reason, the Deity V.Lav and the Sennheiser ME2 can't plug directly into the H4n Pro. I don't know why this is, but adapting them through the Wireless Go works. That being said, the Wireless Go and the W.Lav do work out of the box right into the external 3.5 jack on the H4n. To keep things fair, I thought about this. We're gonna run them all through the Wireless Go. That eliminates any variables that could be coming into play. So with that said, let's jump in now. I'm gonna put my headphones in just so I can monitor and make sure our levels are good, and we'll run through each of these mics. All right, so right now we're using the Rode Wireless Go. I'm hand holding it just so I'm not peaking because it is a very loud pickup pattern on here. It's a really good mic. I like this package. The fact that it's $200, it's built in, it's got good audio quality, but the most important part about this package is the fact that it's gonna let you plug any 3.5mm adapter you want into it. So it can be used with the W.Lav, with the Sennheiser ME2, and with the Deity V.Lav. So it's a really compact, flexible package. It charges over USB-C. I've done a separate review on this, so I'm not gonna focus too much more on this, but I wanted to give you an example to see how it sounds. So this is doing the mic right from the Wireless Go that's built into it. At this point, let's switch over to the W.Lav to see how much better that sounds. All right, so we just switched over to the W.Lav, going through the Wireless Go, H4n Pro, right into the Sony a7R III then. One thing to call out is this comes with really nice packaging. So you can see inside here, they're gonna give you tape, adapters, a few different things you need in here, as well as foam pads and a wind muff. Big fan of this case. I do wish it was maybe a little bit smaller, or they gave you another little pouch to carry things in, but it's very professional, very well built, and for $100, the fact that it's included is a great deal. The other thing to call out is the design of this mic. So it doesn't have a microphone that kind of protrudes like a lot of the omnidirectional ones. So that's why the wind noise is so contained when you just put something like the foam muff on it. So overall, for my use cases, I don't really want an omnidirectional anyway. I want it to focus on my voice and get rid of a lot of the noise around me. This microphone is going to do a great job at it. So how does it sound right now as we compared it to the original Wireless Go built-in mic? To me, in the monitor, it definitely sounds richer, fuller. I really think it's a good addition, and these two can be used in tandem. With that, let's switch over to the Sennheiser ME2. All right, so now we're on the Sennheiser ME2, and I gotta say, this produces a really good sound profile, but at the same time, this is my least favorite mic I've ever used. Because you have to use things like adapters, because it has this screw-on cap, it falls out of your camera a lot. It seems to always want to peak on the Sony. You notice I'm trying to talk in a very controlled level right now. Yes, the sound quality is good, but all the finickiness, all the headaches I've had to deal with for this, I every day go with the W.Lav over something like this. So here's what it sounds like in the studio. Let's go to our last but not least mic, the V.Lav, which is going to be about $50. Let's switch to that now. Testing, testing. So I wanted you guys to hear this. I'm going to turn it off really quick and explain what's going on. All right, so I just want to show you guys what I'm experiencing real quick. So right now we're on the W.Lav, and you'll notice as I go into my camera mount, there's no issues, no background noise. All right, so now we're on the V.Lav, and just kind of showing you as we're walking around, moving the camera into the cage, you're getting all that background noise, which is really weird. I walked outside and I wasn't experiencing it, but I think all the electronics in this room are acting with the mic because it has such a big cable. All All right, so that was a bit weird. I'm not entirely sure what was happening with the V.Lav right now. I think because there's so many electronics in the room and the cable's so long, it's basically acting as an antenna and picking up just a ton of background interference, Wi-Fi signals, who knows. But overall, focused on the W.Lav, it's been a great experience. It's a really adaptable mic. It's a good price point. You could hear the difference on the Wireless Go, whether it was just the built-in mic and then when we switched to this, and it really does add that next level of sound. So it really is a good combo if you want to use these two together, or if you don't want to worry about batteries, you don't need wireless. This as a standalone mic is a great purchase. So big thumbs up from me. Big thanks to Deity for sending me this mic to try out. Overall, that's it, guys. Let me know what you thought of today. Again, vlog 1, so we've got a lot more videos coming out. I think we're going to do a review of the sit stand desk tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. As always, it's a pleasure having you. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you guys next time.